Anyways, I'm gonna get straight to this video because I've been taking enough time on it. So pretty much at the beginning of this week, I did a poll on my Instagram story and I asked you guys if you would prefer to see my journey of how I got a credit score of 745, or if you wanted to see how I get cash back and bonuses with credit cards. You guys chose the first one, so here I am. I have my laptop and I'm gonna give you guys the rundown. It is gonna be like a bit of a longer video, but I want to give you guys like the timeline from about 2017 to now, what I've done and what my journey was like, and then I want to give you guys the rundown of what I think helped me get my credit score to where it's at within a couple of years, and also get the pretty decent credit line that I have right now of about $28,000. So let's get to it. So my journey started in about mid-2017. I went down to my credit union and I pretty much applied for a credit card. They ran my credit and it turned out that I actually had a credit history from a student loan. It was an installment loan and my credit score was about 620. It was like in the 620s. It was nothing to brag about. But the point was that I had a credit score, so that qualified me for a regular credit card. So I got my first credit card and they actually let me choose my credit line, and I chose like the lowest possible amount that I could, and that was $500. So with my first credit card with a $500 credit line and my credit score of 620, I just made some small purchases on that credit card, maybe like some snacks here and there. Maybe if I went shopping, I bought like a couple of shirts, nothing too crazy. And I'd say about 6 months later, in 2018, I obviously wanted a higher credit limit on my credit card because I did not want to max out my credit card, and I wanted something that had like benefits because this credit union credit card didn't have any benefits to it. So by this point I had about a 660 credit score, and I went and I applied for the Chase Freedom credit card. And with that credit card, I got a credit limit of $1,500. And since then, my credit limit on that credit card has increased to $4,000. So again, I was going pretty steady for about 6 months with those two credit cards. And after a while, I was watching my credit journey and like the that portion of the Chase app where you can see your credit history and like progress and all that. And I saw that my credit score hit about 750. So at that point, I was pretty ready to move on to a more advanced credit card. I had been doing some research about sign-up bonuses, so I decided I wanted to try it out. And one of the credit cards that I was pre-qualified for was the Chase Sapphire Preferred. So I went and I applied for that credit card with a 750 credit score. So that was around March of this year, and I applied, I got approved, and they approved me for a credit line of $4,300. Since then, my credit line has increased on that credit card to $7,800. So like I said, that was back in March, and just recently, maybe a few days ago, I decided that I want to travel in the next few months. So like me just thinking about how I'm going to travel and not spend a bunch of money, I looked for another credit card that will give me a nice sign-up bonus and allow me to travel at a discount. That's when I found the Capital One Venture card, and my credit score has been bobbing between like the 730s and 750s for the past few months, so I wasn't like extremely sure that I would be approved for this card, but I decided that it wouldn't hurt me too much to try and to see if I could get the card just so I can get some discounted travel within the next few months. So I applied for the card and I got approved. They approved me for a $15,000 credit line, and that's where I sit today. So I want to now tell you guys the little details of what I think have led me to this point and what I think I did right, the things I think I've done wrong, because my credit score has fluctuated, you know, like a decent amount. And I think by now I kind of know what makes my credit score decrease or increase. So I want to share that with you guys right now. Okay, so the main thing that I really made sure of from the beginning of ever getting a credit card was making sure that I made every payment on time and in full. So payment history has a very high impact on your credit score, and I just knew that from the beginning, that I did not want to miss any payments. So what I did was I set up automatic payments with my first credit card and then every credit card after that. And I made sure I paid my balance in full every month because I didn't want to carry a balance into the next month and then have to pay interest on that balance. When I pay my balance in full, I know that it lets the credit bureaus know that I am more responsible and I'm not trying to load my credit line up with charges. So that's where my biggest piece of advice comes from, and that is to never charge more than you have in cash on your credit cards. So if you only have $10 in your checking account or savings or whatever, don't go and charge your credit card for $100, because at the end of the month, you will most likely not be able to pay that credit card in full. So that's what I kept in mind, and that's what's helped me pay my balances in full every month. So there's another thing called credit utilization rate. And to keep it very simple, it's a rule of keeping your credit usage below 30%. So if you have a credit line of $1,000, then you should never put more than $300 in charges on that credit card. That'll keep you under 30% utilization rate. So when you keep it under 30%, that's in a good range, but if you keep it under 10%, that's in an excellent range. And I've noticed that because once I increase my utilization rate, my credit score will actually drop a couple of points. But if I keep it below 10%, it either increases because I've used less credit than the month before, or it'll stay about the same. And one thing that many people don't really know about or talk about is the fact that the length of your credit history is actually an important part of what makes your credit score. So when I applied for the 3 credit cards after my first credit union credit card, I didn't close my first credit card even though I really don't use it anymore, and that's because that's the oldest credit card that I have. So that one credit card adds to the length of my credit history, and it shows some diversification experience, I guess. So I've kept that account open just so that my credit history length did not decrease, and I can show that I have diversification. I have a lot more history in my credit report. So I can tell you guys that when it comes to credit card companies increasing my credit card limits without me having to ask, I know that has a lot to do with me simply paying my cards on time, paying them in full, and keeping the balances very low. Those are the 3 most important things that I believe have helped me. Those are my tips. If you guys have any more questions, obviously DM me, leave a comment. My Instagram is Amber Loryn, spelled just how it is on my YouTube. Follow me there. I often post tips and videos and anything that's upcoming. So yeah, that's it for this video. I would appreciate it if you guys did leave a like. Obviously that helps the YouTube algorithm. I'm out, man. That's crazy. Jeez, I've been taking too long on this.